fight it out.
Yeah, most of the time I'm just kind of like I'll get excited for something, but I'll be very quick to rein it in.
Yeah, and also when I get the game or whatever it is, I'm going to go. It's not so much that I'm looking for the things that I was promised, so much as I'm looking to be entertained or enjoy whatever it is I got.
Yeah,
you know.
That's
So like No Man's Sky, some of the stuff that I was expecting to be in the game wasn't in the game, but I was able to find some enjoyment out of it, even though it was kind of shallow. And it's just kind of sitting on my shelf until they update it. So
that's more or less been my approach to games for a long time. It's like I'll evaluate it based on what it is, not what I wanted it to be.
Yeah, and it's like, is it a shallow game? Hell yeah! But I had some fun with it. It's good to mellow out too.
Like
that's kind of how I saw it.
It's like I'm not gonna lie, I am hyped as fuck for Mass Effect Andromeda, but at the same time, I'll just wait for it to come out before I let that get any worse than it could possibly get.
Yeah. Again, going back to our earlier conversation, a game with a character editor in it.
Well, kind of a character.
And kind of encourages you to kind of create your own kind of narrative with that character,
I never really felt that for Mass Effect.
I did, like for Mass Effect to a degree.
Like most of the time, or like with Dragon Age, like they kind of had a set narrative going for Hawk, and it's like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I think Dragon Age 2, I think that was the kind of the complaint, that they kind of constrained it, whereas Origins wasn't really like that so much. And I can't speak to Inquisition because I still haven't played it yet, so.
I'm probably not the best person to ask about this, since my opinion is that neither Origins or 2 are better than the other. They're just different games.
Yeah. Well, I suspect that if you liked Origins, you probably didn't like 2. Because they were very, like you said, they were very different games, and you probably weren't going to get what you expected out of 2 from what they actually did. That's very true. And I actually sat and watched some of it. Like, I never have played 2, but I got a chance to watch a good amount of it because my brother had it and he was playing a whole bunch of it. And the one thing that was disappointing to me was just how much stuff got reused all the time.
Yeah, backgrounds definitely.
It's ridiculous. Oh man.
Yeah, there was. Nobody can deny that one. It's like a lot of assets were reused, a lot of shit was lazy in it. It's amazing that they even decided that this is okay to release.
Yeah, they got rushed like nobody's business. And if somebody told me that they didn't, I would think they were lying, because there's no way that they would that they would let that slide normally.
Round 1.
But on the other hand, I'd prefer. I don't mind a character having a game with a character creation system that has basically a set idea for what the character is. I'd prefer that over just like this kind of mute, you have to assume what the character is kind of feeling thing.
Oh yeah. I guess one thing that kind of bugs me sometimes about Mass Effect, and the last couple of games got kind of bad about it, was you would get an expectation of what the character was going to say, but it wasn't really what the character was saying. And you'd be like, wait, what?
Yeah, they have to kind of shorten the lines.
Yeah, well, they shortened it too much, and so it was difficult, if not impossible, to tell what the actual intent of the sentence was from that line. And I really hope if they're bringing that wheel back next, in Andromeda, that they fix that.
Like they show exactly what the line is going to be.
Right, or they make it more clear what the line actually is. I don't care if it's short, I just care if I know what I actually meant to say, like what the tone of the sentence was.
They can also go with the Dragon Age 2 thing where they have a little picture to show what kind of response this is going to be.
Yeah, that would actually be perfect. They could totally go with that. It actually kind of reminds me of, this is one of the things. Do you remember that DS Sonic RPG that they did, that BioWare did?
With the shitty ass music?
Yes, it was. There were some good things about that music. About the game, the music was not one of them.
Definitely not.
And I don't know how they got away with that. Like, I don't know whose idea that was. That was just like
Sega.
No, that was whoever was working on that game. Clearly,
BioWare. It's not really known for their music.
No, but I mean that was bad even for them. I don't know. I thought Mass Effect had good music. For the most part, like it fit the mood.
I acknowledge that Mass Effect's music was there.
Yeah, it was. I know it's not your cup of tea because it's like the orchestrated type, stuff
Boring
that you hear in movies.
ambience.
But yeah, there was some good stuff in there. But like, yeah, it was mostly fitting whatever the mood of the game was. But like Sonic Brotherhood, oh my god. Remember I got into a battle, I'm like, what is this shit?
Alex, replace the music with some Sonic Chronicles music.
Right.
Like, I know there was a couple songs they used that were actually from other games. They were done horribly. Or they were just taken straight from it.
I heard a song that sounded like it was maybe supposed to be one of the boss themes from Sonic CD, but it was so horribly mangled that I couldn't tell what it was.
Like, I know the Mystic Runes music from Chronicles was the final boss music from Sonic 3D Blast for the Genesis or something.
Really? I couldn't tell.
At least I'm pretty sure.
Let me hear your sweet scream.
But then there's but like I said, just one of the things that I liked about going back to what I was actually trying to get to is the thing on Sonic Chronicles, and how you could tell what the tone of the sentence was because they had the little expression on the screen.
Yeah.
I thought that was great.
Like, yeah, sure, Amy, whatever. Your boyfriend that definitely totally exists.
Yep.
Well then, where do you want me to break
I wouldn't be
you
mad if they
first?
decided to take another stab at that.
Me neither. Maybe not necessarily BioWare, but somebody.
Finish this in no time.
Yeah.
They could have
Well, even if
Atlas.
BioWare did it, they just get somebody else to do the freaking music.
They could have Atlas do it.
Yeah, Atlas would be okay.
So-
Well, do you really want to play a Sonic game that's like a
An SMT game?
Uh,
Yes.
Huh? No, not an SMT game. I'm thinking like, well, it might be an SMT game. It might be a tactics game.
I'd be okay with that too.
A Sonic tactics game? I don't know about
sure.
that.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know. The RPG had a hard enough time of applying Sonic to an RPG. I don't know how that would work in a tactics game.
Well, I think the mistake they were making in that is they were trying to combine kind of the Sonic style with an RPG, which isn't going
Well,
to
see,
work.
that's the thing, because what they were trying to do was basically Mario RPG except with Sonic.
Except, yeah, it's like in Mario's case, Mario is a platformer primarily. And, well, technically,
Sonic's
so
a platform.
it used to be until they've been like
It's still a platformer.
until they were more
It's
like
just a very speed-focused platform.
it's not really a platform anymore, Striker. Let's be real.
I think it's
a clairvoyance simulator.
it's still a platformer. Just because you don't like how the platformer works doesn't make it not a platformer.
In a very loose sense of platformer, I will give you that.
A platformer is a game where you jump on platformers. It's a platformer.
So by like the actual definition of the word, it is, but it's not very good at it.
Yeah, it's not the type of platformer that you think of when you think of a platform, but that doesn't make it not a platformer.
It is more about running fast rather than the platform.
Yep, that is true. Except when you're playing Generations and you'd still get the platforming sections every now and then.
It's like
Which is why if they're really going to have Classic Sonic in the next one, I'm totally on board with that.
I'd be okay if they made it more like Sonic Adventure rather than Sonic. Well, everything post-adventure. where it was
Yeah,
boost.
you're not getting that. I'm already pretty sure about that.
I'm gonna hope that
Like I
I'm
said-
going to dream.
Yeah, I think I've mentioned it before, but like I felt like they had a good idea with Lost World, but then they just kind of gave up on it because the game didn't sell well, rather than like try to revise it or figure out why people didn't like it.
Classic Sega way.
Oh yeah.
And this baby's looking pretty dirty. Better throw it out with the water.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, I'm sorry, I got that wrong. It's like, man, this water's looking pretty dirty. We should get rid of it. Well, there's still a baby in the tub. Whatever.
Yep.
It'll be fine.
Everything needs to go. Everything must go.
But for like a Sonic RPG, I would make it an RPG first, and then just have each character kind of like work how they work their themes specifically.
Oh yeah.
That
Like I
would,
said, I don't know how well that'll work though. Because like I said, I like the idea of basically Mario RPG except Sonic theme. But I also felt like, they could have done a better job. Again, with the music, the graphics were okay, but kind of nondescript.
they're about what I would expect from a 3DS game, or DS game at the time.
Yeah. I'd say they were a little bit subpar for a DS game. Like they tried to mix 3D and flat, and it didn't quite work. Because I mean, Sonic had already done that at that point. You'd had Sonic Rush, and Sonic had whatever they called the other one. Wasn't
Sonic Rush Adventure.
Sonic Rush Adventure. I was like, my brain stopped for a second. Sonic Rush and Sonic Rush Adventure, and those games, and Sonic Colors. That's what I was thinking of. But they had that, and they mixed sprites and they mixed 3D, and it worked out pretty well. And for some reason, they couldn't get that to work in Chronicles.
Like, I think if they wanted to do another Sonic RPG, they should just fucking straight up copy the first Mario RPG, or like the first two Paper Mario games, or Mario and Luigi.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit less Mario and Luigi, because I sure get sick of fucking having to hit buttons all the time to do any sort of special move.
Yeah, they've kind of taken the whole time hits thing and just kind of gone a little bit too far with it.
'Cause it's like, sometimes, like, I just want to fucking play the game. Like, I don't want to do a shitload of work to actually do well at it.
I don't need a quick time event every time I take a turn.
It's like, just be like Legend of Dragoon and give me an accessory that does it all for me.
I'll tell you what game series, or really just what game I miss. Legend of Legaia.
Me too.
Did you ever play that game?
I used to own both the first game and the not really a sequel.
The crappy thing masquerading as a sequel.
Well, it wasn't even trying to be a sequel, it was just a similar game.
Wasn't even really similar from what I could tell.
Like, mechanically, it was similar, but that was about as far as it went. It's kind of like it was the gameplay was similar, and most of the mechanics were the same, but everything else was different.
Yeah. Because I remember, I loved the music in the game. The battle theme was fantastic.
In the first game?
The first game, yes.
Yeah, Brand of the Holy Knuckles is pretty good.
And then they had the Seru abilities, which were cool, and how you could learn the different abilities by doing the different combos.
Learning magic by
figuring out
killing the same thing a bunch of times.
Yeah. Or no, it was the combos that you did. You had to figure out which combos would generate special moves.
Well, I mean, like magic specifically, you had to kill things a bunch. Same thing a bunch of times.
I got it that time.
I remember one time like, at the beginning of the game, I'm like, I'm gonna learn this fire attack all the way up to level 9 before I even get to the first dungeon. And it was good times.
I bet. I wonder if Legend of Lugaia is on the PSN, if I could get that on the PlayStation 3 or something.
Probably.
Yep. Because, like, I remember we were talking about Wild Arms when we were playing with Robin. I have
Rob?
it, I just haven't got a chance to go... I don't know.
What are you talking about?
Just
People
kinda
that don't
popped in my head.
exist.
That guy that, you know, he was on the bus the other day, you know.
Oh. I don't know who you're talking about.
Okay. Anyway, we were talking about Wild Arms before, and you know, I remarked that I had it, but I haven't really gotten into it.
Yeah.
And I really need to do that at some point.
I keep meaning to do a playthrough of it for the show, but then it's like, ugh, this sounds like work.
It's a lot of work.
It's like, I just...
That reminds me, at some point I need to rope you into, like, I need to see how viable share play is, because if it works, then it might not have to be you, but I need to figure out. I'm trying to get this whole wrestling idea off the ground, and if we can do share play and actually see the game at the same time, that would work a lot better, and I can just record it instead, you know, rather than try to like stream it and like make that work. Thought, well, maybe I'll do streaming and like make the pay-per-views, you know, what passes for those streamed, but I don't know if that will work either. But like definitely,
I dashed into that. I dashed into that for some reason.
Oh. Oh, nope, that didn't go well.
Learning that lesson I learned every time I tried to play Street Fighter 3 is, I gotta stop jumping.
Yep.
I love jumping. It's great. Jumping is the best.
Mm-hmm. Jumping feels...
That's why I like games with air blocking, because jumping it becomes safe, and therefore I can do it all the time.
Except when you can. Jumping in on Boss Bison in Alpha 3. Even if you're blocking, you're probably still not going to have a good time.
Well, you're going to get it.
He will chip you down like nobody's business.
Well, I mean, if you block it at all, it's going to be chip-tastic.
Yeah. But no, it's especially bad in the air. Trust me.
I mostly remember he would always start off a fight with it.
Oh, well, maybe that was just what happened to you. Like, for me, most of the time, he wouldn't do it immediately, but he would do it pretty much any time you jumped. He had a full bar and you jumped, it's gonna happen.
I always remember if like he had a full bar at the start of a fight, the first thing he would do is final second pressure.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, I'm okay.
That bullshit where he jumped off the screen like, nuh-uh.
It's like I'm out, and then I'm back.